March. Yeah, let's hope anyway. I like the snow that runs away. That rain stuff that runs away, Chuck. That's kind of like.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. Me too. If it in the liquid form there, I don't mind it. And so, yeah, I do apologize for the late start on YouTube. I just realized I didn't hit the go live button, and so now we are live on the YouTube stream. And so I think that's probably why Wade out in Dundas there checked in so early, maybe to remind me I wasn't live yet. So, anyways, yeah, well, I hope Art checks in tonight because last couple of weeks he was kind of looking for you, and we'll keep our ears open for that. How's things going with you, Rick? Any announcements?
Well, no. Canada, 10 meals was wide open. So that was last weekend. That was pretty good. I got it, or weekend before, I forget now. Anyway, yeah, I got to get the logs in before the deadline. And anyway, I was going to say, I talked to Aaron on the phone, and if anybody can help him out in any way, help him out with setup, because he has trouble seeing stuff. Like I haven't been able to get up there yet, so I haven't been able to help him out, and I can't go up ladders and stuff like that. So, he needs a wire, some kind of wire put around up in the corner of his roof there. Somebody went and put a die pull in for him, but the wire was too heavy for the sticky things they had holding it up. So, anyway, and I hope he checks in. So, yeah, like I was telling you before. Well, it's too bad you didn't stick around for the Monday night net. Just a reminder to everybody, we have a net. It's 8 o'clock on 3.693 if you've got HF 80 meter capabilities. 3.693, we're back there again. We're running lower power because the switching situation here, Chuck. But anyway, it still works pretty good. And after we got off the net on Monday night, three of us went around in different bands and I tested out different antennas. And I got one wire that fell down, and the piece that is sort of in a circle on the ground. Holy geez, I couldn't believe it. We could hear each other on 40 meters, and I didn't even have a tune. So. Anyway, I'm going to do some more experiment with that. That's the name of the game. And nothing else to announce, really. Club meeting for the Hamilton Amateur Club members on Thursday night, which is exec meeting only for club members. And everybody's welcome, though, on the 25th at the church, St. Paul's United on Regina. So Regina North, and that's between Main Street and somewhere in there, not too far from the school. So anyway, anybody's welcome for that, and also for our net on Monday nights. Everybody's welcome to that too, Chuck. So anyway, just say hello to everybody. Happy New Year to everybody that I haven't heard since the New Year. And we'll be on the side there listening and looking forward to this day in history that you do there, Chuck. You do a good job. BA3 CJZ V3 BK.
All right, Rick. Well, thank you very much for all that, and thanks for checking in. And we'll get back to you in a little bit. There, we'll just go down the list, and maybe Art will check in shortly. And so we'll clear with you and say hello to George, VE3GBD. Come on in, George.
Not much to report there, Chuck. I'm just relaxing right now, and then get the garbage ready, get it out, because I got a house full, so I can't even get garbage out because my driveway, cars in the driveway. Can't get my garbage out. Other than that, not much to report, bye.
Wow, George, sounds like a tight fit if you can't even get your garbage out. Maybe you guys are hoarding too much. Just kidding. But yeah, speaking of garbage, yeah, I hear you got a big job to do there uh, soon. So good luck with that. And thanks for checking in, buddy.
Yeah, I'll be listening. I'll be listening.
Okay, George, very good, very good. So we'll clear with you and we'll get back to you soon, no doubt. And we're going down the list. We've got VA3IMW. Mac, come on in.
Good evening, one and all. VA3IMW. Yeah, you got my little bit of anticipation generator there, right? Everybody was waiting for the whiskey to show up. Anyways, just thinking back to earlier this evening. There's a lot of people that are using YouTube live streaming for various applications. As a matter of fact, I made a couple of contacts with British Columbia this evening. Victor Alpha 3, no, it was Victor Alpha 7, Bravo India X-ray. First reached him on 15 meters, and was a good contact, I guess 5 and 5. And that's where he mentioned something about his camera and this, that, and the other. I looked him up on YouTube, and sure enough, he was live streaming his park activation. So it was kind of cool to go back and look at my HF signal and see how it sounded out there in British Columbia. And then I saw him go QSY to 20 meters, and actually reached out and contacted him on 20 meters also with a 5.5 signal, and it was reciprocal, but kind of fun to hear yourself. So where these guys are doing videos online, I can also remember somebody had sent me a link to a video where I had made contact with a POTA park in Alaska. So kind of neat. Anyways, the one thing I haven't heard a lot of people talking about, I guess it's a little bit off now, but Winter Field Day is coming up on January 27th and 28th. So something to look forward to for those that are so well inclined. And I think all of the rules and everything are all laid out on the website. Just if you just Google Winter Field Day, you'll find a link that's going to take you to the official website with all the rules and the different criteria and categories that you can be in if you're working off-grid power and all the rest of that stuff. So I guess that's it for now. Oh, I'm going to throw my vote in the pot for the liquid snow. That's definitely better than the white stuff that stays on the ground. And it was certainly nice yesterday not to get that 25 to 29 centimeters that they had forecast for the Guelph area, because that would have been a whole lot. Certainly glad that most of the precipitation that came down yesterday was in the liquid form rather than the white fluffy stuff. And today, also glad that the ground and roads dried up before the temperatures dropped down below the freezing point. That's about it for the time being. I'm going to stick around for the duration and behave myself as usual. Back to you, Chuck.
Okay, very good then, Mac. Outstanding. And yeah, it's pretty cool hearing your transmission being broadcast over YouTube on a POTA contact. That's awesome. Plus, never mind, conditions aren't always favorable to make it over the Rockies into British Columbia that easily, unless maybe you're using digital form. But for voice, that's great. And so congratulations there, Mac, and thank you for all that other information. And yes, I'd like to point out we did skirt the bad weather this time around. There's more rounds coming very soon. High winds too. I understand a couple of operators have had some antenna damage from what I've heard already. So I would advise you guys to maybe once in a while have a peek out at your antennas and the ropes that are supposed to be securing said antennas, if you have any, to check on them. Some might snap, your antenna might fall over, who knows, right? Like I said, there's already been a couple that I've heard of. So they're talking about winds 60 to 80 kilometers an hour over the weekend coming up. So beware of that. And hopefully, being the spear of Lake Ontario at the very western tip, a lot of times we get weather being deflected. So we'll have to wait and see. It's one of those things. Well, thanks, Mac. I do appreciate your check in, sir. We'll get back to you in a little bit, and we'll clear with you and go to VA3 NCA. Wade, come on in.
VA3CJZ, VA3NCA. Good evening, Chuck. Good evening, everybody on frequency. And yeah, thanks. This is a first week back to work. Yeah, I think I was getting used to it. I think I see what you all, what a bunch of you see in retirement. I think it's a great idea, and I think I'll have to work towards joining you sometime. But nonetheless, work started up again this week, and so back at it. I've been in the office once this week already. I'll probably be there the next couple of days too. Mac, I did hear you on Simon's BIX's live stream there. Simon's a pretty active, pretty interesting guy. Back when we did the Canada Day mass activation of the Great Trail, he was having some people on his live stream for the same event, and I had a link, and I checked in really briefly on his live stream, but my cell reception where I was so bad that it really wasn't functional. So maybe next year. But anyways, I did hear you. You were coming through clear, a lot clearer than I can reach him from this from where I am. But good to hear you on the live stream with him, and he's a good follow on YouTube if you're so inclined. Speaking of POTA, do remember as well that it's the Support Your Parks weekend coming up, January 20th and 21st. So it's the quarterly Support Your Parks. This is the winter one, of course, and any contacts any activations you do, or actually hunting as well on those days from Zulu Zero Saturday to Sunday will count towards an award. So with that, I'll send it back to you. Thanks, Chuck, VA3NCA.
Okay, Wade. Well, thank you very much. That helps me out a lot with announcements for upcoming events like that. So I hope everybody else was listening. Support Your Parks weekend coming up on the 17th, 18th, I do believe. Or no, that's not a weekend. That would be what, the 20th, 21st?
QSL, yeah, in Zulu time, so it's actually Friday night, what is that, 7, until Sunday at 7, whatever Zulu time is for the January 20th and 21st weekend.
Yeah, outstanding. Get one contact and you get a certificate from POTA. Excellent. So hopefully a lot of people will take advantage of that. And thanks so much for checking in. And I'm glad you're surviving the first week back in the office. But you don't normally do 5 days a week in the office, do you?
No, thankfully I can flex that around. We had a bunch of meetings on the Tuesday that were probably better in person, so I went in yesterday. I'm supposed to go in. Yeah, I'll be going in tomorrow and probably Friday, but Friday we'll see how it goes. As long as I don't have something that I could do more effectively in the office, then I'm free to do it at home. So it's nice to have that flexibility. And so, yeah, I'd probably say I spend about 50-50, and that's kind of nice flexibility there to enjoy. So pretty good.
All right. Yes, I remember before the pandemic, you had to be management or something like that in order to be able to work from home. And ever since then, there's been tons of home working and school learning as well. I'm quite surprised we haven't gone to homeschooling remotely or digitally, if you will, sooner. I don't know why it took a pandemic for that, but that kind of forced everyone into it. And now it's more of a voluntary situation. I think that will work out better. Same thing for the work at the office. Apparently, the government has tons of office space that is pretty near empty, skeleton crews or what have you. And so they're looking to sell or do something with those properties. So good for you for being able to work from home as often as you can. So that's the key word right there in your work contract is work flexibility all day long. All right, Wade. Well, you're sounding good tonight. Great signal. I'm not exactly sure on the S meter, but you're doing a great job tonight. Thanks for checking in. Anything else?
No, nothing much. You're coming to me with an S7, nice and clear, and I have a pretty low noise floor tonight, so maybe it's past Christmas light season. Maybe that's the reason. And you say about it took the pandemic to really take flexible work, from home or from the office seriously. That's for sure. We talked about it off and on and made attempts at it before the pandemic, but it wasn't until it was forced upon people that they really got serious about seeing what it is they needed to know about how you worked. And, I think it used to be that people thought unless you were in the office, you weren't working. Unless they could see you, you weren't working. And that was a poor stand-in for maybe seeing what your actual output is. And when the pandemic came along and we were forced to actually manage the work that way by output, not by physical presence, I think people figured out ways to do it. So it's got to be a balance, and so as long as that balance is there, I think it's better than it was. But anything can be abused, so we'll see. Anyways, thanks so much. I'll let you pick up somebody else along the line. I'm sure there's a few behind me, and thanks for doing it. I'll be listening along via 3MCA back to back control.
Okay, very good, Wade, and thank you for all that input. And so we'll get back to you in a little bit, and I'm sure you'll probably be listening along on the YouTube stream. Again, for those of you just coming in, just go to YouTube, put in VA3CJZ, and you can find us there live tonight. Follow along, say hi. Speaking of which, I'd like to say hi to Victor Alpha 3, Fox Mike Bravo in Mississauga, Wayne B. And so he checked in with us, and so did Mark. Steve's friend, Victor Alpha 3, November Foxtrot Golf. I'm thinking Steve might be working tonight, so we may or may not get his check-in later. But good evening to all anyways. And with that, let's see who else would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ. Anyone, anywhere, please come now.
VA3, Eddie. Hello, Mike, Quebec.
Okay, I heard VA3 November Echo and Victor Echo 3 Kilo Mike Quebec. And there was another station in there that got covered up. Do you want to bring it back again, please?
Victor Echo 3, Charlie Echo Uniform.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Whiskey.
Okay, I picked up two more, VE3 Charlie Echo Uniform and VA3 Charlie Juliet Whiskey, Chris. So let's go up to the top and say hello to my neighbor, Kevin, Victor Alpha 3 November Echo.
Yeah, good evening there, Chuck. Just been listening along there. Thought I'd give you a check-in.
Outstanding. Are you on the portable tonight or you're on the big antenna?
Yeah, I'm on the tram antenna outside, and I'm on the 705. What's it put out on here? I think 10 watts.
Ah, very good. Well, you got a nice strong signal, of course, and Good audio there, Kevin. Tad low, though, I kind of find, but maybe it's because of our proximity. We're fairly close. But nonetheless, yeah, if you need to tie anything down because the wind might blow it, I would suggest doing that very soon. High winds are coming our way. 60 to 80 kilometers are saying there, Kevin.
Yeah, I was just watching my daughter, her boyfriend, putting our blue bags out there. And, oh, look, it just fell off. I was telling her high winds, and she goes, yeah, that's why they piled the heavy one, the bottles and that on top of the paper one, I guess. But hopefully it don't blow down the street. Always on the windy days, I get all the garbage in between the side of my house there, bags and bottles, paper, you name it. But wonder if the audio's a little better there now. I'd talk a little more into it. I got the mic gain only at 50%. Usually I'm hot, so I turn everything down a little bit when I come on here. But yeah, that should be a little bit better. I just come off of the D-Star Picture Net, first time ever going on there. I only had one guy, and he sent 5 pictures in a row, and that was it. And then I keyed up to say something, and he kicked me off the reflector. I guess I wasn't supposed to talk. I guess it's only for pictures or something. But then I went back on, and nobody was on there doing anything, so maybe the net was done. But 5 pictures, perfectly clear, coming across the air on my radio. I thought that was pretty cool. Not more there, Chuck. I'll let you move along and get your check-ins there. I'll be standing by. Victor Alpha 3, November Echo.
Roger that, Kevin. Well, tell us a bit more. D-Star, what's the exact mode? D-Star Picture?
Yeah, I remember I used to check into, where is it again? Manitoulin, some Allen guy. If Mac's listening, he knows who I'm talking about. Mac used to run a D-Star net there, hosted or something there last year. And I used to hear him talking about the picture sometimes. Say, oh, here we go, send the picture, Connie, and oh, send the picture. But my 5100, in order to receive the pictures, I got to buy this little board and put it in there, and it's like $235 from Radio World. And then I need an Android phone to do the pictures on and stuff, and I don't have that. I have an iPhone, so. But I see there's a program you can download, and it can decode, and you can fit the pictures to the size they need in JPEG. They got to be JPEG in a certain size, I guess. And then you got to pick different speeds. You send it fast. Sometimes they don't come through so clear. But this guy,
yeah.
I don't know. The pictures, 5 pictures he sent. I must have got them all in just a couple of minutes. And they're perfectly clear. I was amazed how clear it is for pictures coming out his antenna into mine. He was from the States. Back to you.
Okay. Well, that sounds really interesting, Kevin. I'll have to Google that or YouTube University and check that out. That sounds interesting. All right, Kevin. Well, thank you very much for checking in with us, sir. I will get back to you if you're still here. And have a good evening. I can't wait to hear what else you're into there. So let's go down the list. We'll clear with VA3NE and say hello to Mike, Victor Echo 3, Kilo Mike, Quebec.
Yeah, VA3 CJZ, VE3KMQ. Good evening, Chuck, and Happy New Year to you. And same to everybody else on frequency this evening. Hope everybody's doing well. Just a check-in for me. Not an awful lot going on, and just thought I'd say hello. So swinging it back to you, VE3KMQ.
Okay, very good. Then, Mike, you're sounding excellent as always. You're full strength over here at the Center Mall in East Hamilton, and great audio as well. So hopefully the high winds won't affect your equipment or anyone else's throughout this wind event. But we are deep into January. It's the 10th, and so it's no surprise that's coming. So anyways, I noticed we've had some pretty significant solar events lately, and that has affected conditions. I have noticed today the sunspot count has gone way up over 100. when the conditions were horrible there, we were having less than 75 sunspots. And so, I found certain bands have been opened right up. Sometimes you get 15, 20, 10, a whole bunch of them. So when they open, it's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. I noticed 10 was good at least a couple of days ago. I think it was a couple of days ago. Worked several stations in Europe, Western Europe, mind you. But it's always good when 10 opens up. Yeah, as far as the weather, the wind, the snow, the rain, whatever. I guess we haven't had an awful lot of snow, rain mainly. But I was one of the ones who did suffer a bit of a antenna casualty. Not a big deal, but one of the legs of my fan dipole, the 40-meter leg, one of them is downed. I had it supported with a off of the end of the wire through via an insulator, I don't know, polyester or polypropylene cord, and I guess it must have been rubbing against a tree branch because I had it swung over a large tree branch in my yard. And so it broke. So the next day or so, I guess I've got to do something to remedy that. And I think what I'll use is, in fact, I bought some plastic-coated multi-purpose wire, if you will, at Home Depot. So I'm going to use that instead of the rope cord. It'll be more durable for situations like we have. But I'm sure it was probably wind and rain that caused the problem for me there, Chuck.
Yes, absolutely, Mike. I've run into the same issue. Not buying the proper cordage. You learn the hard way. And I've had a couple that have snapped within a year. And so this past spring here, I bought some Dacron. I think 1/4 inch or 3/8. I'm not sure. And that Dacron stuff is beautiful. I love it. It's a little bit pricey, but for around under $30 for 100 feet, and it did the trick. Let me tell you, there's no more climbing in bad weather, and putting your stuff back up. So, yeah, whatever you can find that will extend your support time, the better.
Yeah, absolutely, and you're very correct on support time, emphasis on time, because invariably, something will happen. They do come down. Just as long as we can prolong it, that's the key. Okay, Chuck, won't hold it. Great net as always. Thank you for doing it, and we'll check in with you next time. VE3 KMQ, back to you.
Okay, Mike, it's a pleasure having you here most every week, and so. Thanks again, and we'll talk to you again soon. Happy hunting. And so we'll clear with VE3KMQ and go and say hello to Tom. VE3 Charlie Echo Uniform. Come on in, Tom.
Radio room back. My sister-in-law has gone back to Toronto there. So yeah, just sitting here and just listening along and enjoying it. And get you about an S9 tonight there.
Okay, Tom. Well, that's right. You're one of the few people I know that has to give up his radio room when company comes over. And so I'm glad you got it back, and your stress level has gone down, I'm sure. And so hopefully everything went well with the visit there. Over.
I did catch COVID-19, but it was very short-lived. Thank goodness for that, and all the shots that I had. But, other than that, the holidays were good. And, so I don't have anything else to add here, Chuck. I'm going to sit here and be listening. pretty soon there, so I'll probably listen for the next half hour or so.
Okay, Tom, sounds good. By the way, I'm getting you also at an S9. Great job. Nice punchy audio, as always. All right, Tom, so we'll clear with you, and we'll go and say hello to Chris. Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet, Whiskey. Come on in, Chris.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet, Zulu, Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet. One thing that I got to say is that even all that rain yesterday, as miserable and as cold as it was, at least it washed away the snow that we were having.
Absolutely. Like I mentioned earlier, liquid snow is the best kind, except for maybe Christmas Eve. And then it can just turn to liquid. So, absolutely. Although I'm not sure we're supposed to get any major white accumulation. I dare not say the word, because Hamilton oftentimes gets deflection. And so let's hope that is the case as well. I'm sure we'll have a little bit down on the ground and people will start driving like crazy people. And so that's nothing new. You got to watch out for the other people. It's not usually our driving that is bad, it's others. And so I wish you good luck with that. Anyhow, everything went well over the holidays. I think we spoke last week, did we not?
Yeah, absolutely, buddy. Had a good holidays and a good New Year. I got to say that it's a treat for me tonight. Either you got a lot more local guys or they're running higher power, because I'm actually able to hear most of the guys on frequency without having to follow along on YouTube. I've got YouTube sitting here that I can play in the background when I can't hear the station, but I'm hearing pretty much everybody. Christmas and New Year's. Wonderful start to the new year. And I follow a guy online. Instant Weather Ontario is his handle. Instant Weather Ontario. And it looks like we might get, if things go the way he's saying, we might get hammered with a bunch of the white stuff this weekend.
Yeah, well, not much we can do about that except pray to the weather gods. And so, well, I do thank you for checking in, Chris, because tonight conditions are really good. As you mentioned, you're coming in at a 10 over S9 there from North Burlington, I do believe, right?
Yeah, QSL, north end of Burlington. And as I say, conditions are good because I'm hearing most of the guys through Simplex tonight. And those that are that's great to hear. And yeah, north end of Burlington, basically the area of Grant Street and Dundas, just below the escarpment.
Wow, fabulous job, Chris. All right, well, I do thank you for checking in with us once again. And before I let you go, do you have anything else for the net?
No, nothing else at all, Chuck. I'll just be hanging out and listening. You do a great job of the net, so I'm looking forward to hearing your updates as we go through the net. And I'll talk to you later on, probably during the Christmas. Thanks very much, Chuck, and I'll be standing by with you.
Okay, very good then, Chris. Thanks again. And so we'll clear with you and do another call out and see who else would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group, AREG. My call is VA3CJZ, and my name is Chuck, and I'm here in East Hamilton, Ontario. Anyone, anywhere, please come now.
VA3 TTO.
VA3 Whiskey Papa Golf.
Okay, I heard two stations there, TTO and WPG. Let's go ahead and bring in VE3 Tango Tango Oscar. Gary, come on in.
Yeah, VE3 TTO here. Good day there. Hopefully everybody is not wet after yesterday there. I'll tell you, it rained a lot. And it looks like we're going to get some colder weather this weekend too, and maybe some snow. Let's just hope, everybody's safe there and everybody handles the highway just okay.
Yes, absolutely. For the most part, most of the people I know are not cowboys on the road, but it's the other cowboys you got to watch out for. But anything can happen. You can hit a patch of black ice or what have you. So be mindful if you don't have the right tires on your car. I would not suggest traveling during really bad weather. It's just a common sense thing. I think most people, well, let's just say some people do take seriously. Anyhow, Gary, I hope the holidays went well with you. I'm sure, I don't know if, I think you were sick as well. A lot of us uh, got a bug bite there over the holidays. Over to you.
Yeah, Roger there. It went around the family there. Kids, we got it from the kids. But anyway, it is what it is, and all we can do is try to fight it off, get as much sleep as we can. That's one thing. Sleeping is probably the best thing you do. But anyway, let's just hope everybody's well for the new year, and let's hope we got through this okay. And we'll see what the weather brings. Maybe we can make some snowmen there on the weekend.
Yeah, sure. We haven't seen any really yet. And so, if there is a major weather event there, Gary, do you want to let people know about any radio emergency activations and whatnot?
Well, we just monitor OBP there, and we do give some notices out there for that. But Canmore during the winter is not that active there unless they request it there. That's the whole thing. But for the winter, it's not that active. Over.
Right, right. Well, the one thing that's good is you have the Procom Net on Thursday evenings at 8 o'clock there, and you check in on all parts of Ontario and see how the weather is there. I find that pretty cool when people mention, they got like a foot of snow, and of course we didn't have any, and things like that. So that part is good.
Yeah, up there past Manitoulin Island, North Bay, up through that area, they're hit already. They got snow already up there. But the lakes aren't frozen yet, too. That's the other thing that makes people go into dangerous situations here. They ride their snowmobiles across a lake that's not frozen and stuff like that. But anyway, I just thought, people are welcome to join us on Thursday there, and it's nice to hear the reports from all across Ontario there. And that's a good thing, just to see what's happening in the other parts of the province. And there's a few people we've lost already, too, last year there. V3 RSI, which was in the Sarnia area there, we lost him. He always used to give us the reports from Godrich and Sarnia area there, what was happening there. But anyway, let's just hope, we can find somebody else up in that area that can report too. And that's the trouble, is we're losing a lot of hams.
Absolutely. When they keep saying that we're getting an aging population, they're not kidding. They're not only aging, they're expiring. So that's always sad to hear. And so, yeah. But, like they say, you try and celebrate their life instead of focusing on mourning their passing. And so, anyhow, Gary, I look forward to your Procom Net tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And what repeaters in the area are going to be transmitting that?
Be NCF, would be UHM, SNM there, WAJ there, Niagara. Those are the repeaters in the area.
All right, very good then. We'll look forward to dropping in and saying hi tomorrow night and see how things are going. Thanks for checking in, Gary. Anything else for the net?
Well, you know something, if we do have some bad weather and stuff like that there, people may want to join us on the V3 OBP there, because we're usually there from 6 o'clock in the morning till about 10:30 in there. So, we have a couple of people that go all the way to Paris every day and that, and different areas. and it's a wide range repeater there. So, if anybody's around, more than welcome.
Okay, Gary, absolutely. So those who didn't hear that, the VE3OBP Oscar Bravo Papa repeater, it has great coverage, and a lot of people check in there to let us know what bad weather is coming which way. So thanks for that, Gary.
You take care. Happy New Year there, and all the best. And just everybody be careful on the weekend. We don't know what these weather reports are going to be like. It's up and down there. And like today, we had high winds there. So anyway, take care. V3TTO.
Absolutely. The weathermen are just playing flip the coin at the moment. They're not sure what's going to happen. Okay, Gary, thanks again, my friend. Nice to hear you, and we'll talk to you again soon. And so we'll clear with VE3TTO and say hello to Chris, VA3WPG. Come on in, Chris. How are things?
All right, VA3WPG. Good evening, everybody. Just trying to solve a computer issue here. Not much radio-wise going on tonight, so I'm just throwing in a quick one for the check-in, and I'm going to get back to what I'm working on here. So everybody have a good evening, and 73. VA3WPG.
Okay, Chris, very good. We shall let you get back to what you're working on. And so good luck with that. And I do thank you for your check-in, Chris. Have a great rest of the evening, and we'll talk to you again soon, hopefully. And so that clears my list. And let's see if we have anyone else who'd like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group Net, Simplex Net. This is VA3 CJZ. Anyone, anywhere.
VA3 BKM.
All right, sounds like we got Brian in there. VA3 BKM. Bravo Kilo Mike, come on in from Dundas.
Good evening, Chuck, and all on net. Hope you're hearing me okay. I've got a new radio, new to me anyway. A dual bander Yaesu, and hooked up to my dual bander antenna. Hoping things are getting your way okay.
Oh yes, absolutely, there, Brian. I'm over here by the Center Mall, Barton and Ottawa Street, and you're coming in at about 15, 20 over. Great job from your location.
It's good to hear. I've been playing with my antennas and replacing coax, and got a different radio because my old one was old. Yeah, it's good to hear. So yeah, I've got an old Yaesu FT8800 here, so it's a dual bander and all that kind of cool stuff. Keep an eye on two bands at once and all that. So it's kind of fun. And yeah, I'm hearing you just fine. I hear kind of half the guys, and not too many. I'm not following along on YouTube tonight. I can't stay for long, but I just wanted to give the old radio a check.
All right, very good then, Brian. Well, congratulations on the new to you radio. It's doing a fantastic job, and like I mentioned there, I'm not sure what your signal was before, but from your location to mine on Simplex, that's a great job, 15 over S9. So thanks again for checking in, Brian. You have a great rest of the evening. And do you have anything else before we continue on?
No, I do not, but I will. I can't stay and listen to your interesting facts and all that, but I will definitely check it out on YouTube later on when I have a chance. But I always enjoy it. Can't make it tonight, but anyhow, have a great day, everybody, and yeah, VA3 BKM. Over to you.
Okay, then. So we'll clear with Brian, VA3BKM, and we'll take a short pause in taking check-ins, and we'll go to our contestcalendar.com website. And so we only have one single sideband contest this weekend, and that is an Indonesian one called the Yankee Bravo DX contest, and that's January 13th at 0 Zulu. to 2359 Zulu on the same day, January 13th. And that's for 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, and 80. And then after that, we have a CW contest. It's called the SKCC Weekend Sprintathon. And that's for a CW for 6 meters, 10, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. Next, we have the UBA PSK 63 contest. And that's for 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, and 80. And then lastly on my list here, we've got the North American QSO Party CW. 1800 Zulu, January 13th to 0559 Zulu, January 14th. Again on CW, 10 meter, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. And I believe that's it. Well, there's a 1.8 megahertz phone NCW. That's what it's called. A WAB 1.8 megahertz phone contest, only on for 4 hours, and that's for CW and sideband, single sideband. 160 meter only. All right. Does anyone else have any announcements to make? Maybe regarding, we mentioned POTA, the Support Your Parks coming up. I do know that there are CW courses going on. I did hear them on a repeater. I don't have any information. I know Chris on his net at 7:30 this evening on the RSB Burlington repeater mentioned that there is a Zoom meeting on, I think, Thursday for CW. Does anyone have any announcements or any more info on that?
VA3.
All right, and we have another check-in, VA3XLJ. Vanya, come on in, my friend.
Hello, Chuck and everybody. So I'm gonna just make an announcement of like the last 5-10 minutes. So I cleaned up the shop at home and I'm slowly driving toward the work, I guess. So I really can contribute today, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it a little long. It will be a little better with my tuning 5 watts in the radio now, but yeah, that's it.
Okay, there, Vanya. Well, we won't keep you very long, as I know you're driving, and it's important to keep your focus on what you're doing. But I do want to thank you for checking in, my friend. I hope everything is going well, and then you get off the night shifts, and we'll be able to hear you spend a little bit more time with us. Over.
I don't know what throughout the day. I got lucky this week because my wife, she's at home like Monday to Friday, and no matter how much I sleep, like I wake up tired every day. But you know what? I took it out today and one more night after that, and all is gonna be well. Anyway, back to you, Chuck. It's gonna be my checking and checking out, and maybe if I hear something interesting, I'll try to reach again. But
Okay, my friend. Nice to hear you in there, and yeah, we'll be able to hopefully be able to get you a little bit more on the weekends during your time off, and drop in and say hello to us on the ZOE repeater or even on this frequency. I do monitor this frequency throughout the day, and so everyone's welcome to stop by and say hello. Thanks again, Vanya. We'll let you go for now, and we'll clear with VA3 X-Ray Lima Juliet. Anyone else out there wishing to join us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group? This is VA3 CJZ. Please come now. Okay, nothing heard. Checking quickly on the QRZ solar data. We do have a solar flux of 186, and sunspots 183, with an A index of 7 and a K index of 2. Solar winds at 313.9. And so for 40 to 80 meters, we have poor during the day and good at night. 20 meter and 30, poor during the day, good at night. 15 and 17 meter, good during the day, good at night. And finally, 10 meters and 12 meters, good during the day, poor at night, with a solar flare probability of 53%. Although I must say we've been enjoying some few days of good conditions, and I wish that continues for everyone. And with that, let's see if anyone else is out there would like to stop by and say hi, test out their antennas and radios. And this is VA3 CJZ. Please come now. All right. Well, let's do a quick run up and down, or start at the top of the list and work our way down, and then we'll do on this day in history once again. And this will be, it'll be a pretty good one. And so let's see if Rick is still alive and well. VA3AXJ.
Yeah, still here, Chuck. I'm going to be listening for a while. Yeah, they're doing a good job. I'm waiting for on this date. I got to hear it. Now, that's the part I like the most. Back to you.
All right, Rick. I'm glad you enjoy it. It puts a smile on my face hearing people say things like that. So thanks again, Rick. Glad to hear you're still there. Let's go to the other downtown, Rick. Victor Echo 3, Bravo Kilowatt. Rick, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here, Chuck, and just listening along. And I forgot to mention that Winter Field Day, and that'll be something for everybody to get into. Hopefully, the antennas will still all be up after the big wind and everything. So, hopefully there won't be much in the way of snow to shovel here. So, but I think they're going to get dumped on pretty good further up north here. But anyway, that we'll wait and see. And I guess I haven't heard Art in there yet. Maybe Art went to bed early or something. Who knows? Anyway, so back to net. V3 BK.
Okay. I was just giving a pause to see if anybody else was in there. I did hear someone throwing a comment underneath Rick there. Do you want to come back again, please? All right. Well, you have to be pretty close to get in between Rick and I, so you didn't make it, whoever it was. Okay, Rick. Well, thank you very much for that. And let's go and say hello to George now. VE3GBD. Got all your garbage ready, George? Can you make it out the door?
Yeah, absolutely. I got the garbage ready to go. Although my back, it just went right out. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm done.
Yeah, that's another thing that seems to be afflicting a lot of people these days is the old back giving out. Well, George, we're not getting any younger. So, there's something that I thought I would try taking up this year, and that's the chair yoga during the winter months. Like we even have a machine for sit-ups. It's like a chair, but it sits on the floor. And if you're like me, once you're down on the floor, you need a crane to get you up. All the joints crick and crack there. But chair yoga, I don't know if you've ever seen that on a video. This old man sits in a chair and you do certain movements, and well, it's exercise. So I was thinking of taking that up. I haven't done it yet, but yeah, got a little bit of extra in the midsection here I'd like to work on. And overall health, you need to be a little bit active. If you can't get out too much during the winter, I would highly recommend it. Anyhow, George, good luck with your back, my friend.
That's right, see? Emergency. Emergency. No, everything's good. But it's, yeah, my back is completely done. I'm going to get the garbage out, and this will probably be my last calling.
Okay, George. Well, I do appreciate you hanging in there. That's why we did a second round right close to 9 o'clock. And well, if you miss the on this day, you can always watch it on the YouTube stream, and just move the slider at the bottom back to little after 9 there when we start the on this day, and you can get all caught up. It's 9 p.m. right now, and so we'll say 7-3 to you right now, George. And thank you for being there. Appreciate it. Okay, moving along. Let's say hello to VA3 India Mike Whiskey. Mac, are you there?
Go lay down.
Okay, good night, George. You double woodchuck. Anyways, thanks. I heard you, Chuck. And yes, in addition to my chitter chatter with VA7 BIX, managed to make some other contacts on 15 meters, both to California and British Columbia. Kind of my fallback when band conditions don't seem to be very good. And for some reason, all week long, when I get home from work, the POTA spotting page is a little bit thin. So I've been hanging out on some of the higher bands, trying to see if I can make some more obscure contacts. And it actually does help you load up on new-to-you parks. On this day is coming. I can feel it. It's like the night before Christmas. Looking forward to what's coming up. Other than that, I think somebody said something about maybe having another weather event Friday, maybe Friday midday through Friday evening and overnight. So really hoping for good things to come of that. You know, maybe a good snowstorm. Oh, I said the word. Anyways, maybe a good storm would teach people a lesson so that they would get ready for the rest of the season. Because here in Canada, we have to drive in everything. So whether it's rain, shine, SNOW, sleet, hail, you know, everything that the male guys have to go through. Us Canadians, we have to be resilient and be able to drive through all of it, including pestilence and plagues where frogs rain from the sky, stuff like that. Anyways, I think we're all equipped, and just you know, go get out there and drive it like you stole it. The worst thing that can happen is you end up parking your SUV in the ditch. Right, George? Back to you, Chuck.
Ba-boom. Oh, dear. Yeah. I remember that too, Mac. And listen, by the way, if you live in Florida, during the winter months, they give out warnings of raining frogs and lizards. When the temperatures get very cold, these animals actually freeze up and fall off the trees that they're on. And so it's no surprise to see falling lizards and frogs and such. Uh, People don't realize that, but it does rain frogs somewhere.
And if you're in a zone where they have water spouts, i.e. over Lake Erie, you also have the opportunity to have fish
Raining
sucked
fish.
up in the water spouts, and they actually do rain down. And if it happens to be over dry land, you could end up with supper coming into your backyard.
Absolutely. Wouldn't that be neat, eh? Get a nice big fish dropping into your pool in the backyard. There you go. That's right. Yeah, the water spouts. Very good, Mac. Okay, anything else before we continue on down the list and then eventually get to on this day?
On this day, go for it, Chuck. Okay, I'll be listening.
Okay, very good. So we'll clear with you, Mac, and see if Wade is still there. VA3NCA.
VA3CJ, VA3CJZ, VA3NCA. Yeah, still here, Chuck, and I think I'm hearing the natives getting restless, so I won't hold up your fly through the list on towards on this day. So still listening along. It's a good net, and thanks for running it. I'll send it back to you, and you can get that much closer to on this day and satisfy your hordes of adoring fans. VA3NCA, back to you.
Okay, very good, Wade. Yeah, we'll try and move along as quickly as we can. And before I do, I just want to say hello to our check-ins from YouTube. We have Flynn checking in, Victor Echo 3, Fox Juliet. We're doing well over here, Flynn. We were a little under the weather, but much better now. And thank you for asking. Hope everything's good with you. And also we have Fuad Radman from Indonesia. Good evening, Fuad. Welcome to our weekly Simplex Net. It's a pleasure having you aboard. And also we have North End Richard checking in. G'day, RF mates. Leg is still attached and fully functioning. Checking in a pee for the in the pot. So thank you, Richard. I'm glad your leg is still attached. We haven't heard you in a few weeks. I hope you had a good holiday as best as you could. And thanks for checking in, my friend. Okay, so let's go back to the list real quick here. We've got my neighbor, VA3 November Echo. Are you still there, Kevin?
Yeah, sure am there, Chuck. Hey, I upped my audio a little bit better. Is that better?
Oh, yeah, I like it there.
Yeah, I had it at 50. I put it at 75. And yeah, when you're done your net, I don't know if you've seen, I sent you a few messages there on Facebook Messenger. Just the first couple are like a couple short video clips of me getting those pictures. And then I sent you the link if you want to go read up on it and that. They call it something about the, what's the radio all them guys got? The 7100. It'd be good for the picture net and that. But I only seen that one guy go on. He did the 5 pictures and then that was it. So yeah, and they got 2 frequencies. First I was waiting on the first one and nothing was on there, and it was like 5 or 10 minutes into the net. So I tried the other frequency, and sure enough, he was on there saying he's getting ready to send his pictures. So I arrived there just in time to get those 5, but amazing how clear they are. And that's not going through the internet or anything. That's going out his antenna into my antenna, and my radio just decoded the pictures. Pretty cool. But something you'd probably get bored with fast, but oh no, just nice to know how to do it.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, it does sound interesting, Kevin. I do have, I don't have Messenger open right now or Facebook while I concentrate on everything I have to do here, but I will check it later. And excellent job with the audio turned up a little bit there, especially for Simplex. Maybe not needed on the repeater, but for Simplex here, I'm sure it helps others to be able to hear you. So thanks again, Kevin. Anything else before I move along?
Oh yeah, I forgot to add that I also switched antennas. I'm on a 5-element beam pointed south. Well, kind of your way, but a little bit before you. kind of pointing up the mountain way there, southwest. I don't know if anybody was on when I first checked in there on the tram antenna, but I'm on a 5-element beam pointed that way now. And I missed a little bit of the net. I had a phone call and I had the volume down. So, but yeah, I don't know if anyone else out there noticed. But all right, I'll let you get back to the net, and you're gonna give us some announcements there, I believe. VA380.
Okay, Kevin. Yep. Well, I can't tell what if you switch antennas or not there, but I'm sure others probably did. And so, yeah. And for those who are having trouble hearing other stations, just a reminder, we are streaming the net on YouTube. Just put in my call in the YouTube search and look for us live there tonight. You can move the slider at the bottom if you want to go to a certain time. I do have a clock running on the YouTube stream, so you can move the slider at the bottom to whatever time you'd like and play it back. All right, Kevin, thanks for that update. And let's see if Tom is still with us. I think he said he was going to leave around 9-ish. VE3 Charlie Echo uniform. Okay, how about Chris? VA3 Charlie Juliet Whiskey.
VA3 Charlie Juliet Zulu, VA3 Charlie Juliet Whiskey. Yeah, still here, Chuck. Going to be hanging around with you till the end of the net. Sorry to hear you were feeling under the weather a little bit. Glad that you're feeling better now. Just one thing to add quickly, and then I'll let you continue with the net. For back pain and for back issues, one of the things to look at, as well as the chair yoga, is something called Tai Chi. Tango Alpha India, Charlie Hotel India. It's a martial art, but it's a real slow one. If you ever see the pictures of the people in groups in parks, sometimes in China or even around here, it's Tai Chi they're practicing. It's great for balance, great for strengthening and lengthening the muscles, and it's real slow and easy to do. So for back issues and for balance, preventing falls and stuff, Tai Chi is a great thing to do as well.
All right. Well, Chris, that's very good advice. I know many years ago, I was in a martial arts club, and then, of course, I had to concentrate on work and paying the bills, and have neglected to keep in shape with that. But for many years, I was involved in that, and that's another good idea. Thanks for that, Chris. All right, so I think lastly on my list we have Brian, VA3 Bravo Kilo Mike. You still there, Brian? Okay, nothing heard. Well, let's do one more call out and see who else is out there would like to check in with us here on the weekly amateur radio exchange group Simplex Net. My call is Victor Alpha 3 Charlie Juliet Zulu. My name is Chuck, and I'm here by the Center Mall in Hamilton, Ontario. Anyone, anywhere, please come now.
KKP.
VE3 KKP. Kevin, come on in.
Hey, good evening, Chuck, and everybody on that. Oh, it was close, Chuck. I've been looking around here since 7:30 for a bean for your pot, and having trouble. I found two, so I got one more left for this week. I'm gonna have to decide which net I'm gonna use it on, but I knew for sure I'd use one if I found it on yours tonight. So there you go, another one.
All right. Well, along with the YouTube check-ins, Kevin, that makes number 17. Thank you so much for being keeping us in mind and sharing that bean with us.
Not a problem. And I thought I'd prolong this on this day a little longer for Mac. I know he's getting a little restless over there waiting for it. So anyway, what else can we talk about? I'll let you get back to it. There you go, Chuck. V3KKP.
Okay, very good, Kevin. Good job stalling. All right. And now we have a comment from Richard on YouTube. He's seriously thinking on a Xiegu. Oh, yeah. XYEGU, I think it is. G90. HF for the vehicle. Well, good luck with that, Richard. Let us know if you decide to click on that buy button and let us know. Can't wait to hear you back on the air, my friend. We surely miss your sarcastic wit for sure. Okay, Richard, keep in touch, my friend. And so I guess we'll start on this day in history. On this day, 150, it's called, as this is almost going on 3 years now. My goodness. What is it, 156, it will be 3 years. Wow. Okay, well, before we start, do we have any other check-ins for tonight's AREG Net? Please come now. All right, I don't think I have a very long one today, but it should be pretty good. And we'll start with today's famous birthdays. And so the first person on my list is Frank James. That's the brother of Jesse James. He was born on this day in 1843, known as an American outlaw and a member of the James Younger Gang. Born in Clay County, Missouri. Frank James passed away in 1915. Next, we've got Ray Bolger, born on this day in 1904. He's an American dancer, actor, and singer. Remember, in the early 1900s, you had to learn how to do all of them to make it anywhere. And so he was in the movie The Wizard of Oz as the Scarecrow. And he was also known as Grandpa Renfrew on The Partridge Family. Born in Dorchester, Massachusetts, and he passed away in 1987. Ray Bolger. Next, we've got the year 1916, January 10th. Don Metz was born. Don Metz is a Canadian ice hockey right wing. He's won Stanley Cup 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in the 1940s with the Toronto Maple Leafs. So he's probably one of the last people to see a Stanley Cup with the Maple Leafs. So his Stanley Cup wins were in 1942, 45, 47, 48, 49. Born in Wilcox, Canada. Died in 2007. Next, we go to the year 1930, January 10th. Roy E. Disney was born, and he's an American film executive and CEO of Disney. Born in Los Angeles, California. Now, Walt Disney is known for starting Disney, and he had his brothers and other family members also participating. Roy Disney passed away in 2009. Okay, it says here Roy Edward Disney was an American businessman. He was the longtime senior executive for the Walt Disney Company, which was founded by his uncle Walt Disney and his father Roy Disney. So there you go. I did add a little bit of context there. Next, we got Ronnie Hawkins celebrating a birthday on this day in 1935. Ronnie Hawkins is an American Canadian rock musician. He was born in Huntsville, Arkansas, and his career began in Arkansas, the United States, where he was born and raised. And he found success in Ontario, Canada, and lived there for most of his life. Passed away in 2022. Next, we've got Frank Mahovlich celebrating his 86th birthday today. He was born in 1938 on this day. Frank Mahovlich is a Canadian Hockey Hall of Fame left wing and a politician after hockey. He's a 6-time Stanley Cup winner with the Montreal Canadiens. He's born in Timmins, Ontario. Happy birthday, Frank Mahovlich. I used to love his brother, Pete Mahovlich, he was the scrapper. Frank was the scorer. Okay, next we've got Jim Croce, born on this day, 1943. Sadly passing away at only 30 years of age. He's an American singer-songwriter, most famously known for the song Time in a Bottle and Bad, Bad Leroy Brown. He was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Next, born on this day, January 10th in 1944, Frank Sinatra Jr. is an American singer and band leader, born in Jersey City, New Jersey, and he passed away in 2016. Rod Stewart, celebrating his 79th birthday today. Born in 1945, he is a British singer, known for his many, many hits, one of them being Do Ya Think I'm Sexy? And he's also a model railroad designer, born in London, England. Next, we got George Foreman, celebrating his 75th birthday today. Born in 1949, he's an American boxer, world heavyweight champion in 1973, 74, and again in 1995, 20 years later. Born in Marshall, Texas. Next, we've got Bobby Rahal, born on this day, 1953. American race car driver and team owner with over 15 wins. Born in Medina, Ohio. Those who remember racing in the 70s and 80s, Bobby Rahal was one of the top racers at the time. And finally, we have Pat Benatar having a birthday today. She was born in 1953. That makes her 71 years old. Hit me with your best shot. And Love is a Battlefield. Born in Brooklyn, New York, 71 years old. Happy birthday, Pat Benatar. All right, so that's it for birthdays on this day. Are there any questions, comments, or check-ins before we continue on? Okay, give me one quick second. Okay, sorry about that. I had to make myself another beverage, as it does get a little taxing on the throat. So we just finished famous birthdays. Let's see who died today in history. Famous people who died today. Let's start with the year 1754. We have Edward Cave passing away on this day, and he's an English editor and publisher, and it was from a magazine called Gentleman's Magazine. Now, he's also known for having coined the term magazine, and he dies at the age of 62. So there you go. The word magazine goes all the way back to the 1700s. And so next we have Samuel Colt, passing away on this day in 1862. Of course, Samuel Colt is an American inventor and firearms manufacturer and industrialist. He's famous for having developed the Colt six-shot revolver. And he dies of gout at the age of 47. Too young. Next, we go to the year 1883. Passing away is Samuel Mudd on this day in history. Samuel Mudd is an American physician who was imprisoned for conspiring with John Wilkes Booth. and he dies of pneumonia at the age of 49. Now, that conspiring with John Wilkes Booth, he's the man who shot President Lincoln. So there's the connection there. Next, we go to the year 1917. William Buffalo Bill Cody passed away in 1917 on this day. He's an American Wild West hunter and showman. He had the famous Buffalo Bill's Wild West show. Dies at the age of 70. Passing away in 1971 on this day, Gabrielle, also known as Coco Chanel. She was a French fashion designer and had the name brand Chanel named after her. Dies at the age of 87, all the way back in 1971. All right, who doesn't love cookies? Well, Ruth Wakefield sadly passed away in 1977. Ruth Wakefield was an American inventor. Guess what she invented? She created the Toll House cookie, the very first chocolate chip cookie. And she passes away at the age of 73. Next, passing away on this day in 1982, everyone's favorite center Hollywood Square, Paul Lynde. Paul Lynde was known to appear on shows like Bewitched and other comedies. He was, like I mentioned, the Hollywood Squares, and he was Uncle Arthur on Bewitched, and he dies after a heart attack at the age of only 55. I thought he was much older, by the way. Next, we have John Buscema passing away in 2002. John is an American comics artist, and he was the artist for the magazine Conan the Barbarian, which I have many still in my collection from back in the 80s when I used to read those magazines. Conan the Barbarian. He dies at the age of 74. And next we have Bill Stone, passing away in 2009 on this day. Bill was a British serviceman, one of the last surviving veterans of World War I, dies at the age of 108. Good for him. And David Bowie passed away on this day in 2016. Everyone knows who David Bowie is, and he dies of cancer at the age of 69. And Claire Collingworth is next. She passed away on this day in 2017. She's a British war correspondent who was the first to report on the outbreak of World War II. She dies at the age of 105. Last on my list, I have Jeff Beck, passing away in 2023. Jeff is an English Grammy Award-winning rock guitarist with the Yardbirds from the year 1965 to 1966, and then the Jeff Beck Group from 67 to 72. He dies of bacterial meningitis at the age of 78. And so that wraps up who passed away on this day in history. Do we have any questions or comments or announcements or check-ins? To the AREG net, this is VA3CJZ.
Victor 3, November Foxtrot Mobile.
Okay, I hear a Victor Alpha 3, November Foxtrot Golf Mobile. I do believe that is Steve. Is that you, Steve?
Yeah, roger that, Chuck. We're just mobile here on the way home. Work. And just give me a second. We are going here to for now there, Chuck. Thank you.
Okay, Steve, I didn't get all of that, but I got most of it. So thank you very much on your way home in the mobile and checking in. Do appreciate it, Steve. You are in the log. By the way, you are check in number 18. And so maybe we'll talk to you when you get home and settled in and turn the radio on. But if not, thanks again, my friend. Appreciate it.
Yep, no worries. Thanks a bunch, Chuck. VA3 and FC Mobile clear.
All right. Well, that was much, much better, Steve. And so take care on the way home. Nice to hear you in there. Do appreciate your check in, my friend. Anyone else out there wishing to check into this week's AREG Net Amateur Radio Exchange Group, please come now.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Oscar Foxtrot.
And we have Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Oscar Foxtrot. Damien, come on in, Damien. How are you?
Yeah, good evening. I'm just mobile driving around my house looking for a car park right at the moment. Over.
Oh, roger that. You know, Damien, you always sound great in your mobile. I'm not sure if you live near me, but always a great signal coming into my location, my friend. Hope everything is going well with you, sir.
Yeah, I'm at Cannon and Ottawa, so not far away from you, I believe. Yeah, pretty much good with
right.
me. I've just been working today and probably going to do a work from home day tomorrow and just chill out a little bit more than driving around everywhere. So, yeah, 73 to you all, over.
Okay, very good, Damien. Yes, you're almost a stone's throw away. Yeah, absolutely great signal on you, and excellent. You can work from home. That is, we were talking about that earlier, about that flexibility for working and learning from home. Since the pandemic now is over, people are still able to do that to a certain capacity, but most often it's not constantly from home, but a couple days a week here and there. And so I'm sure that's greatly a great relief for many people. So thanks again, Damien, for checking in. Good luck finding a parking spot. Over. Okay, so we have Damien in there. And let's see, does anyone else out there would like to check in? Please come now. This is VA3 CJZ. Okay, so we did the birthdays, people passing away on this day in history. Let's go to the historical events. And we'll start with on this day in 1863, January 10th, the first underground railway opens in London. It would later become known as the Tube, their subway system. 1863, that's how far back that goes. Something to think about. Here we are in 2024. Compared to some parts of Europe, our fast transit is way, way behind. No bullet trains here, that's for sure. All right, so let's jump ahead a few years. On this day in 1873, Standard Oil Company is created by John D. Rockefeller. His brother and other business partners also in on the deal. And he then, at the time, controlled about 10% of the world's oil. So it's no wonder John D. Rockefeller was filthy rich. That's back in 1873. Next, we have on this day in 1897, Ukrainian bacteriologist Vladimir Havkin performs the first human trial for a vaccine for the plague on himself during the Bombay epidemic. And so pretty gutsy to be doing that. All right. And speaking of oil, we have another story about oil. In 1901, on this day, oil is discovered at Spindletop, Beaumont, marking the start of the Texas oil boom, known as the Gusher Age. We've seen all those movies where they strike oil and it just gushes out of the well there. That's what that's referring to. All right. In 1911, on this day, the first photo in the United States is taken from an airplane over San Diego. 1911, first photo taken from a plane. Next, let's go to 1920. We have the inauguration of the League of Nations held in Paris. Now, the League of Nations would go on to become the United Nations, as we all know them today. I actually have a few contacts with the United Nations radio call signs throughout the world. So if you ever see a call sign starting with UN, try and grab them. Here's everyone's favorite. In 1949, on this day, RCA introduces the 45 RPM record. All of us growing up as kids used to play these singles on both sides of the 45 RPM records. Oh, only one hit song, though. The other side usually sucked. Similar to when you bought an album just for one or two songs, the rest was mediocre at best. But anyways, 1949 RCA brings out the 45 RPM. 1951 is the first jet passenger trip made. So the first passenger trip on a jet, 1951. And then on this day in 1956, Elvis Presley records his single Heartbreak Hotel, written by Mae Boren Axton and Tommy Durden at RCA Studios in Nashville, Tennessee. The year is 1957. The date is January 10th. Baseball Commissioner Ford Frick, I'm not kidding, Frick, Frick, rules Bing Crosby can keep token stock in the Detroit Tigers, even though he owns part of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now, I never knew that about Bing Crosby. He owned part of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Staying with that era, we go to 1958 on this day. Jerry Lee Lewis, Great Balls of Fire, reaches number one on the UK pop charts. Sticking with music, we go to the year 1964 now, and VJ Records, that's VEE-JAY, VJ Records releases Introducing the Beatles, the first Beatles album released in the United States. (1967) PBS, the National Educational TV, begins as a 70-station network. I've watched a lot of things on PBS. So this goes all the way back to 1967. Then in 1969, on this day, we have pirate radio station Free Derby begins operation in Northern Ireland. I tell you, the UK and their pirate radio stations, man, they're pretty famous for that. That's pretty cool. If you get a chance, you should check that out. There were many pirate radio stations, especially in off of the coast in Britain, on ships, because they outlawed rock and roll music in London. All right. So next we go to 1971 on this day. Canadian scientist and environmentalist David Suzuki begins his broadcasting career as host of a CBC TV program called Suzuki on Science. I've seen Suzuki. He's a pretty smart guy. I like him. And still with the year 1971, we have the Irish Republican Army, the IRA, carry out a punishment attack, tarring and feathering 4 men accused of criminal activities in Belfast. Tarred and feathered. This is back in 1971 now. That was supposed to have been done a long, long time ago. Interesting. Another interesting little unknown fact, in 1984 on this day, the United States reestablishes full diplomatic relations with the Vatican after almost 117 years. Did not know that. Next, we have Abdul Jabbar's 34,000th point. In 1986, on this day, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar of the Los Angeles Lakers scores his 34,000th career point during a 124-102 win over Indiana Pacers, being the only NBA player to reach the milestone at that time. He holds the career record until the year 2023. And so I had to look it up. And in 2023, LeBron James surpassed him with 38,390 points. Wow. That's over 4,000, almost 4,390 points more. Okay, next let's go to the year 1989. Staying with sports, the LA Kings center Wayne Gretzky becomes NHL's all-time leading scorer in combined regular season and playoff points. 4 assists in a 5-4 home win over Edmonton brings his total to 2011, one more than Gordie Howe. Poor Gordie. Next, we have the trial of Lorena Bobbitt on this day in 1994. Lorena Bobbitt cut off her husband's penis. That's all I'm going to say about that. And still with 1994, Ukraine says it will give up the world's 3rd largest nuclear arsenal. I did not know that about Ukraine. Next, we go to Coach Johnson. In 1996, Jimmy Johnson announced as new coach of the Miami Dolphins. Now, Jimmy Johnson is not the same as the race car driver, totally different guy. Actually, this guy, Jimmy Johnson, Coach Johnson, was also on that Survivor series. He didn't win, of course, but he did a good job. Next year, in 1997, on this day, Dow Corning provides $295 billion to settle breast implant suits. Many breast implants were leaking, and so they were held responsible and eventually paid. $295 billion. That's a lot of boobs. All right, going back to sports, we have the 1,000 assists for Messier. In 1998, on this day, Vancouver Canucks veteran center Mark Messier becomes the 6th player in NHL history to record 1,000 assists in a 2-2 tie game against the Florida Panthers at General Motors Place. Okay, I don't remember this story, but in 2005 on this day, a mudslide occurs in La Conchita, California, killing 10 people, injuring many more, and closing the Highway 101, which is the main coastal corridor between San Francisco and Los Angeles, for 10 days. And so, pretty significant event. All right, we're getting near the end here. This one's interesting. Our next story is Bezos' net worth passes $100 billion. In 2018, on this day, Jeff Bezos becomes the second man worth over $100 billion as his wealth hits 106 with a B due to a rise in Amazon's share price. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is that Amazon, one of today's biggest multinational companies, dominating the e-commerce industry, only turned its profit 9 years after being founded as an online bookstore. That's how Amazon started, folks. It was a bookstore. And so, interesting stuff. And now our last story is about 2019. Canadian astronomers report fast radio bursts, known as FRBs, of probably, let me say that again. Canadian astronomers report fast radio bursts of probable extragalactic origin, one repeating 6 times at the CHIME Observatory. That's the CHIME Observatory in British Columbia. And so that's all fascinating stuff. I hope you guys were entertained as much as I was researching it and repeating it to you all. Do we have any questions, comments, or check-ins for this week's Amateur Radio Exchange Group? This is VA3CJZ. Okay. So no questions, no comments. Well, let's do one last round, see who's still with us. And we'll start at the top with Downtown Rick. VA3AXJ. Rick, you still with us or no?
I'm still here. I wasn't missing on this day. You know that. That's a good part of the whole thing. Yeah, that's good. Interesting tonight. Enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm going to be hoping the weather is good in the morning. I'm going to head up to the res and get some fuel. I'm just hoping the weather is okay to drive. But I'm a slowpoke anyhow, so I just, I watch what I do. So if you're on the frequency, I'll be giving you a yell. Probably around 11:30, 12 o'clock. I'll be on the road.
To me.
Back to you, VA3XJ, we're clear.
All right, Rick. 11 to 12 o'clock sounds great to me. We'll keep an ear out for you. And it's a big mystery what the weather's going to be like. I guess the winds are a big factor. And so we just have to wait and see. Okay, Rick, thank you so much. Let's go to the other Downtown Rick, VE3 Bravo Kilowatt. Okay, maybe we put Rick to sleep. And so maybe he'll come in a little bit later. Let's see if George is still there. VE3GBD. Victor Alpha 3 India Mike Whiskey.
Yes. Sorry we missed George. Locked in the trunk of a car, parked in a ditch. Anyways, yeah, what do you got? 9:47, it looks like on the clock. That sounds like this is the 73 round, and I want to congratulate you on a most stellar performance for on this day. Lots of great trivia there. You're going to be the star of every party that you attend if you can recite all that. Yeah, looking forward to Thursday and Friday, and hopefully, yeah, maybe a snow day through in that period. I do have some paperwork to catch up on over the weekend, so if there's a good reason not to go out and do anything outdoors, maybe that's a good excuse. And sounds like your voice has held up fairly well tonight. Trust you're feeling better as the weekend approaches. And yeah, that's about it for now. VA3 CJZ VA3 IMW. Thanks again for doing a wonderful net. Back to you.
Oh, well, thank you very much there, Mac. I feel a hand patting me on the back as we speak. And yeah, maybe we might not get so lucky as to get some rain, but they did mention rain on the 6 o'clock news. We'll just have to, like I mentioned there, wait and see. And so, yeah, on the upside, bands have bounced back. There's no significant solar uh, activity to be worried about hitting Earth, so that's good. A lot of the bands have opened up in the last few days. I believe that carries on uh, to the weekend for those of you who are weekend warriors, which I know, Mac, you are one. And so, yeah, thanks for joining us again. Didn't need your relay tonight for any contacts, but nonetheless, it's always nice to count on you being there when you're in country. Anything else there, Mac?
Yeah, as far as man in country, no plans yet to return to Europe, so that's positive. And you're absolutely right. I'm glad to be the man on the mountain. So anytime anybody needs, just call out my name, and wherever I am, I'll come running.
All right, very good. Oh, just to mention, I was checking out my analytics on the YouTube page there, and it seems my views have increased exponentially in a fairly quick amount of time there. I guess the on this date might be catching on to viewers, and so I don't get paid for streaming this on YouTube, but I do always appreciate a good a like or a dislike. Either way, it's feedback. So I do encourage everyone to either leave a comment or a like. It's always appreciated. And so we'll clear with you, Mac. Thanks again. And my next victim is Wade, Victor Alpha 3, November Charlie Alpha. Are you by the radio there, Wade?
You deserve a gold star.
Chuck, thanks for running it. Always a good time, a way to spend a Wednesday for sure. And we got to get people to subscribe to your channel there. Get those subscription numbers up. You're getting Hem YouTube famous. Yeah, no, it's a great thing that you do for the local community, and this day in history is always a lot of fun. Let's see, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I was sitting around here listening while I was going. We did mention very briefly on a previous week about that inexpensive new radio rivaling the Baofangs called the Quancheng UVK6. I actually picked one up. It was $28, a whole $28, free shipping from China, and it arrived. And it's quite interesting in the fact that it's totally replaceable, like the firmware is totally replaceable on it. And what I've got really interested in is that you can do remote control of this thing with the right firmware. So I'm kind of thinking 2-meter digipeater or APRS repeater, something like that. So that's like I need another project, but maybe that's on my bench next. It's a pretty fancy little radio. I would not want to transmit on it outside of its design band, even though the hack firmware will let you, because you will not be compliant. But transmitting in 2-meter 70 centimeters, apparently it's been tested and is compliant, and it will receive way outside. So it's a fun little thing for under $30, and however long it takes to ship from China. So anyways, that's like I need another project, but nonetheless, that is something I was messing with here while we were listening along to on this day. That's a long 73 round, so I'll stop it there and say 7-3 to all, and thanks again for doing it, Chuck. Back to you. VA3CJZ, VA3NCA. Thanks again, 73.
Okay, Wade. Well, thanks for all that input. I was looking at the K5, and I did see a K6 there. I wasn't sure if those were just an upgraded version or what? But I'll have to look for that K6 then. And which Chinese website was it from? Wish or what?
It's from a bunch of them. The one I got it from was AliExpress, and it's the one I picked up was the K6, and you're right. It's the next version of the K5. Apparently, they fixed some issues. My understanding, which might be wrong, was the K5 failed some of the spurious emission testing for 2 meters 70 centimeters. The K6 passes them. And then all bets are off when you use the firmware hacks to open it up beyond 2 meter and 70 centimeter. It really is a 2 meter 70 centimeter radio, but just the fact that it can receive all the way down to 17 meters, I think, and airband as well is a very interesting little toy. And for under $30, you can't get much more entertainment for $30 that's legal. So. Anyways, I'd say AliExpress, and maybe what I'll do is I'll drop onto the AREG Facebook and the Discord. Maybe I'll drop the link to the one I ordered because I think I had pretty good luck with the one they sent. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Back to you.
Yes, absolutely, Wade. That would be great. Just drop that link in there, and I'll be sure to. Look that up there. I think I might pull the trigger on that and check it out. Okay, very good, Wade. Well, thank you so much for being with us tonight once again, and of course your input and sharing with us. And so you have a great rest of the evening, and we look forward to chatting with you again real soon. Have a good one, Wade. So we'll clear with you. And my next customer, VA3 November Echo. Kevin, are you still there?
Yeah, good evening there, Chuck, Wade, Mac, all the fellas that checked in there tonight. Yeah, it's good. Your YouTube station even getting some check-ins there. Before you know it, they'll be sending you money. I'm just joking. But good net there, Chuck. I stood by and listened to the whole thing. Quite interesting. Back to you.
Okay, Kevin, thank you very much. And, it's funny when I go to my YouTube analytics page where, shows you the views and whatnot. It does have a little caption there on that page where it says you can make money using YouTube there. And I haven't really looked into it, but it's nice to see my viewership going up. Of course, subscriptions are going up as well. And so, it's makes me feel good seeing that. So anyways, thanks again, Kevin, for joining us. My neighbor down here by the Center Mall. Anything else before we move along?
Yeah, just maybe make some hats that have AREG on it and some T-shirts and that, and people will buy them. And then you could also take donations, so you can buy the material on that and go out and buy the 3D printer and get printing. Yeah, mugs and everything. There you go. Next thing you know, you'll be sitting there with a nice 9100 sitting down
there. Yeah, all personally made in Chuck's sweatshop. Okay, Kevin. Yeah, that's an idea. Actually, I did get a very nice hat from Kevin, VE3KKP, on my birthday years ago with the AREG on there and my call sign. Very nice hat. Thanks again, Kevin. I have to brush the dust off once in a while. KKP, I mean, Kevin. I do have to brush the dust off because I don't wear it all the time. I want to preserve it. But anyways, that's a good idea. Thank you, Kevin, VA3 Any. And I'm not sure, but I think Tom has gone to bed, but he's next on my list. Let's see, VE3 Charlie Echo Uniform. How about Chris, VA3 Charlie Juliet Whiskey?
VA3 Charlie Juliet Zulu, VA3 Charlie Juliet Whiskey. Yeah, Chuck, I'm still here. hanging out till the end. Gotta say a couple of things. First of all, Mac talking about being the man on the mountain. I wonder, would that be the man on the silver mountain, as Rainbow would sing to us? Anyhow, a couple things. If you're interested or at any time in actually doing that, as far as doing anything with the AREG design on it, if you want to fire me an email through my address on QRZ, my son did some of that stuff for himself, for his company. And so there's a company you can go to that doesn't really cost you much money. You can upload your design and stuff, and then anybody that wants to buy anything can go ahead and purchase it through them, and the company would just turn around and send you a bit of a commission on it.
All right, Chris. Well, thank you so much for that. And yeah, I will be pondering. I mean, you don't make money unless you try, right? So thank you for that, and I will consider it. Thank you so much. Anything else before we carry on?
Yeah, just one final thing, and that is a suggestion to people and a reminder. If we do happen to get snow in the coming days and on the weekend there, one, as you've already stated several times, be really careful when you're driving out there, people. Lots of extra room, slow down. Nothing's that important that it's worth risking your health or your vehicle and getting in an accident. And then secondly, along with that, be careful if you go out there to try and shovel that stuff. It's extremely heavy, and shoveling is very difficult, not only on the body, but it's very strenuous on your heart as well. So if you've had any heart issues or any concerns with the condition of your heart, stay away from the shoveling. You've got to take care and stay safe out there, guys. Anyhow, thanks for doing the net, Chuck. A great job as usual. 73 for now, and hopefully catch you next week.
Okay, Chris, that's all very good advice, my friend. Thank you so much for sharing. And that reminds me, I was watching the Weather Network, and they had a video on the moisture content in snow. And so when the temperatures are kind of mild and we don't get very much snow, I think they had an example. 10 centimeters of snow equaled 1 centimeter of water. Now, if it gets colder, you'll get obviously more snow. So the colder the temperature, the more snow you get. But get this, they even went up to 30 centimeters and said there was still only 1 centimeter of water. So when there's less snow on the ground, chances are it'll be heavier unless it's very cold. And so very interesting. And what I do when I shovel and there's lots of it, I take shifts. I'll go and do so many feet. And when my body says, you know what, time for a break, I go in the house and then come back out and attack it later. Don't try and tackle it all at once. Much better to do it in sections. And thanks again, Chris. Do appreciate it, sir. So moving right along, let's go to our next person. Let's see if Chris, VA3WPG, is still listening.
Yes, VA3WPG. I guess we're doing 73 now. So yeah. Hold on. My door alarm switching to night mode. Yeah. I have actually myself have 2 of those Quanshangs in my cart, debating on whether to pull the trigger too. So funny on that. But just going back a little bit to your dates there. Pat Benatar, hit me with your shot. You mentioned that song. Great song. As of last year, she no longer plays that song live due to the mass shootings in the United States. So, yeah, you won't hear that song on stage anymore.
Oh, yeah, there's been a couple of singers. I know Ariana Grande had some episode happen with her and others as well. It's getting pretty risky going to concerts now and everything. So, Yeah, born in 1953, Pat Benatar, 71 years old. All right, Chris. Well, thanks for sharing that with us. I didn't know that. Another bit of trivia. So thank you again for checking in with us here on our AREG net, and look forward to chatting with you again next time. Anything else for us, Chris?
No. Oh yeah, I got my computer problem solved now, so that's good. So no, other than that, that should be everything for tonight. So yeah, 73. Everybody have a good night, good week till next time, and back to the net. VA3 WPG.
Okay, very good, Chris. Thanks again. Next, next is Kevin, VE3 KKP. Okay, let's try VA3 NFG. Steve. By the way, Steve, if you're listening, Mark checked in with us on YouTube.
Oh, very good there, Chuck. Hopefully you can hear me. I just caught the end of a call sign there as you were saying my call sign there. All right, Chuck, thanks for doing the net. Good net. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to listen to it all until about the last 40 minutes. But anyway, thanks again there, buddy. VA3 CJZ, VA3 NFG Portable.
Absolutely there, Steve. And you know, we do stream the net on YouTube. So if you want to play it back to where you've missed it, you're more than welcome. Anyone and everyone listening, we stream the net on YouTube. Just put my call sign in the YouTube search box, and that's VA3CJZ. And you can play it back and move the slider where you'd like to hear. There is a clock also on the YouTube stream so that you know where you are in the net. And so, Steve, I much appreciate your check-in, sir. Thanks again. As well as everyone else on YouTube who checked in, Downtown Richard, Wayne B., Mark, and who else did I miss here? Downtown Richard. Oh, and Fuad from Indonesia. Good evening, Fuad. Flynn also checked in, VE3FJJ. And Mark, like I mentioned. And so thank you all so much for checking in with us. And we're not done yet. We have one more, and that would be VA3 Charlie Oscar Foxtrot. Damien, are you still available? Okay, nothing heard. And so let's do one last call out. It is 10:06 p.m. and 1.7 degrees outside the CJZ studio. Do we have anyone else out there wishing to check in to the Amateur Radio Exchange Group? Please come now. All right, nothing heard. Well, tonight, including the YouTube check-ins, we got 19 customers. Always a pleasure having everyone stop by and say hi and tell us about their week and their radio contacts and the likes. And so until next week, we'll be here at the same bat time, same bat channel. Thank you all for joining me. Until next time, 73 from VA3 CJZ. Good night, all.
Was that the 73 round? I missed it. V3BK.
Oh, yes, we did give you a call there, Rick, but no answer. And so we just continue on. Please, by all means, come on in.
Yeah, okay. Well, 73 to everybody on frequency. And Wade, I'm not sure Wade's call there. You have to give me a Wade's call again. And I keep forgetting to mention that Wade came up to me at the flea market in October and made sure that he said hello to me. And Wade, I was kind of busy, and I don't know whether I responded or not to Wade. I don't know if he's still on there. But anyway, that was good to see all the people that showed up at the Hamilton Amateur Radio Club flea market there. I guess it was end of October. first, yeah, something like that. Or anyway, they keep changing dates on us, so I'm not sure when it was exactly, but I know Wade made a point to come up and say hi to me. So anyway, I want to make sure that Wade knows that I acknowledged him there. What was Wade's call again?
V3BK, VA3NCA. Hi, Rick. Yeah, no, we did have a quick conversation there. I appreciate it. I introduced myself at your table, and I think we even talked a little bit about Heliax that you had there. Yeah, it was good to meet you in person, and I think I'll look you up at the next Tam Fest as well. Back to you.
Yeah, okay, Wade. Yeah, very good. Hey, give me your call again there. I don't know. You guys say your call so fast, and I'm used to saying Victor Echo 3 Bravo Kilowatt because I'm on HF most of the time. But I know we don't do that much on 2 meters there. But anyway, Wade, yeah, good. I didn't. If I did ignore you, I didn't mean to. And I'm glad that we did have a bit of a conversation there. So anyway, and yeah, I just want to make sure I get your call right here. But anyway, yeah, the next flea market. I think there's one in February, and I'm not sure I'm going to make it. Depends on the snow, driving abilities, and all the rest of this stuff there. So anyway, but anyway, good to hear you, Wade. So give me a call on this V3BK.
Sure, yeah, sure thing, good thing. Yeah, my call is VA3, November Charlie Alpha, QSL.
Okay, I only had one letter wrong. I had Whiskey Alpha. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, well, hey, the memory's good, but it's short, if you know what I mean, when you get older there, Wade. Anyway, okay, and there was some guy in there, I'm not sure where he was, there, Chuck, that I nearly keyed up on him. And I went to my other radio and I could hear him with the squats turned way back. So somebody off in the distance and you're hearing him really good. So I'm not sure who that was. But I think it was Chris or somebody, I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm not hearing, this is Kenwood radio that I'm listening on now, and it's when you turn the squats back, it's not as good as the old icon that I used to have. It saw its last days, and anyway, it was strictly amateur frequencies only. So it kind of worked pretty good. You know, this one here is more wide open. I guess every radio is different. So. It's not a fact that it's a Kenwood, it's a fact that it's just picks up more and gets more noise too, I guess. Okay, anyway, Wade, good to meet you, and anyway, 73 to everybody on here. Sorry I wasn't available there before, Chuck. I got stuck on the phone, and I had to turn the radio down, so I didn't hear you call me. VA3 CJZ, V3BK.
Okay there, Rick. No worries. And I'm thinking, well, Chris is in North Burlington. I was hearing him great. And his call is, where is he? Where's the other Chris there? We had WPG, but I'm sure you heard him. The other Chris, it could have been Steve, VA3 NFG. Steve was on the portable, and so you might have had a hard time hearing him. And who's the other Chris? VA3 CJW. He's in North Burlington.
Okay, I'm not sure who it was. Well, I heard Steve just fine, and there was a Chris that came in beautifully, no problem at all. Of course, I hear KKP all right, on here, and I thought maybe it was somebody in Dundas or somebody out what's that other place on the other side of Dundas? I forget now. I thought maybe it was somebody else, but geez, I couldn't hear him, and when I had the old radio, I got in the old icon, it got in pretty good. But this is a nice radio. I forget the model number. It's not on the front. But anyway, I heard Kenwood's not making ham radio anymore. Did you hear that?
Well, I did, and then I read somewhere that they were coming out with something new. So I'm not sure there, Rick. But anyways, those were the call signs I was thinking about. And yeah, well, that's why we stream the net on YouTube. Because, of course, being on Simplex, not everyone can hear everyone else. And so if you want to hear the net back, by all means, put in my call sign in the YouTube search and you can watch it back. Tonight is called AREG Week 1582.
Yep, Roger on that, 1582. Okay, and I'm a subscriber, but I'm down as VA3 CWM. So I don't know if you know who all your subscribers are, but
yeah.
I can watch you on my smart TV. And I've done that, in fact, until my wife says, "What's that you're watching? Get that out there." So, but anyway, the YouTube is very useful. And the weeks I missed there, I go on there and listen to everything going on. So that's very good. You do a good job there, Chuck.
Oh, dear. Well, thank you. And I can just picture it now. The wife saying, "Who's that bald-headed bohemian on there? Put my drama TV show back on." Okay, Rick. Well, thank you so much for that 7-3 round. And, of course, everything else that you help out the amateur radio community. And it was a lot of fun on Monday night with your net, going to all the different bands and testing out all your different antennas and so on. So, yeah, it was a little bit of a different net, and it was a lot of fun. I encourage everyone to stop in and say hi to you on Monday nights at 8 o'clock. And just to be clear again, is it 80, going back to 80 meters, 3.693?
Yeah, Roger, 3.693, and we're back to 80. I'm using the listening antenna, but I had to lower my power. I do not want to have any problems with that switch. I've already had a problem with switch position 3. I have no idea why, but I was in the listening mode when it went. It just kind of disappeared on me. And testing, that was great. That's what amateur radio is all about, you know. And anyway, that was good, and it made me want to do more. I got to do some more experimenting with one antenna, and I could hear you guys with that antenna on the ground. I couldn't believe that, you know, and you guys could hear me. That was fantastic, even though I was running a 2.2 match or something like that. So that means that my antenna experimentation that I had planned is probably going to work. So we'll probably be doing that again, Chuck. Anyway, there wasn't as many check-ins this Monday night that went by, but I kind of think that was because of the storm coming. There was a lot of static that we were getting from the guys up north and the guys that are a little further away from us. And I was getting all kinds of static on the SDR. So, you know, so if anybody wanted to turn their radio off because they were afraid of getting hit by lightning, I can understand that for sure. And more power to them. I got hit once, and it demoed 2 of my ham radios, 1 of my ham antennas, and my TNC, which I had at the time. Plus some other stuff that, you know, like TVs and stuff too. But so it's no fun getting hit by lightning. So if somebody wanted to turn off, boy, I can really understand that. Anyway, I held it up enough. And anyway, thanks for letting me in here late. And 73 to everybody on frequency. And yeah, keep up the good work there, Chuck. VA3CJZ, V3BK.
All right, Rick, anytime, my friend. I do appreciate your check-ins, as always, and have a great rest of the week. We'll talk to you again soon. And so we'll clear with you, VE3 Bravo Kilo, And I'll do one last call out for any stragglers out there that would like to check in to our weekly amateur radio exchange group net. This is VA3CJZ. Anyone, anywhere, please come now.
VA3CJW, final check.
Yes, sir. VA3CJW. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, Chuck, Chris here. Listen, I just wanted to mention, for anybody still listening on frequency, I'm going to jump onto YouTube now. As I say, I tend to stream the YouTube in the background so I can pick up those frequencies, or pick up those people that I can't hear on frequency on the Simplex Net. So I'm going to jump on there and give you a like. It's the least I can do, and I suggest for everybody listening still on frequency, if you're on YouTube at all, jump on there and give a like or a comment to help the algorithm, help you out a little bit. 73 Chuck, have a great week, and I'll talk to you next week.
Okay, Chris. Well, thanks for that. And yeah, the numbers keep going up, and it's always nice to see. It was a nice surprise when I last looked a couple of days ago and saw the numbers were up, and very nice. Okay, well, thanks for that suggestion, and you have a great rest of the week there, Chris. And so if there are no other check-ins, I'm going to put a bow on this and wrap it up and say 73 all. Hope to hear you again next week. This is VA3CJZ saying so long for now.
Hey there.